ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय। एलिस स्प्रिंग्स यात्रा की जय। Hare Krishna. We welcome you all again for our weekly Gita session. Today I thought I'll touch on a very special verse. This verse is so special that Krishna himself speaks the same verse twice. Once in the middle of Bhagavad Gita and one more time at the end of Bhagavad Gita. This is verse 9.34. Ninth chapter is called the most confidential knowledge. Normally, if you take this book, if I give you something, let's say a photo of Krishna, and tell you to keep it very securely, where will you keep it? You won't keep it here because you know it's just at the beginning of the book. Definitely won't put it right at the end also because it's very easy. Where will you store it? You will go right in the middle because that's where you would think it's more secure because it has maximum number of pages on both the sides, right? Same way, this book has got 700 verses. Krishna places this verse right in the middle. So of 18 chapters, if you split into half, there are 9 on each side. So Krishna places this verse right at the end of the 9th chapter. And as if that's not enough, Krishna places that again right at the end of Bhagavad Gita also. So this is the only verse which Krishna himself repeats twice. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishvashi tvaivam atmanam mad parayanaha. And then later, Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishvashi satyam te pratijane priyoshime. Meaning is the same. This verse, Srila Prabhupada says, teaches us how to easily become a devotee of Krishna. There are only 4 things that needs to be done. So today we are going to look at what those 4 things are. Krishna says, always, this is Bhagavad Gita 9:34. First Krishna says, always think of me. Think of Krishna. Second, Krishna says, become my devotee. Madhyaji, worship me. Mam namaskuru. Offer obeisances to Krishna. So only 4 things. Krishna speaks about this in 9:34. As I said, this verse again comes in the 8th chapter right at the end also. So 4 things Krishna says, if we do, Krishna himself promises twice in Bhagavad Gita that after we leave this world, we will go back to the spiritual world. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Madhyaji, manmana means think of him. Madbhakta means become Krishna's devotee. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji. Yaji means to worship. Mam namaskuru, offer obeisances. Offer obeisances means to bow down to Krishna. So these 4 things, if we do, one is considered as the devotee of Krishna. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, many places, he says, we may not be able to relate to it directly. Krishna may actually tell us, become my devotee. Our question is, we don't know how to become a devotee. We always have that doubt. But here Krishna gives a very simple formula, how to become his devotee very easily. Bhagavad Gita presents the philosophy more like a hypothesis. Like for example, Krishna in 2nd chapter, he says, you are not the body, you are the soul. Now let's take that as a hypothesis. Hypothesis means something which is not proven yet. Something which is like an idea. Bhagavad Gita, first it will present a hypothesis. It will also tell us how to realize and prove that hypothesis. So Krishna initially he says, you are not the body, you are the soul. But then Krishna will also give the technique and the tools to realize how we are not the body, we are the soul. To make that point clear, Krishna gives a lot of analogies and examples. So same way, if you go through any verse of Bhagavad Gita, there is a certain instruction which Krishna gives. Those instructions, we may not be able to completely accept it. Still, if we try to follow to a certain extent how much ever we can, then it will help us make the progress and the same theoretical knowledge will become practical. Just like if you want to watch a cricket match, there are many ways how you can do. You can hear in a radio commentary, that's one way. You can listen in FM, or you can watch in a television, or you can go, if you are in airport these days, or you go to any pub, I'm not recommending you to, but I'm saying, you will find a TV there you can watch. Or you can go to the stadium where the match is played and you can experience also there. Even though there are these multiple options, you can either hear a radio commentary or you can hear from someone, you can watch in TV. Most preferred method, if you look at what is the best way to actually really experience what a cricket match is like, really experience the emotions that's actually running high. Best place to be in is in the stadium itself. There is only so much you can appreciate watching from outside, correct? And people do pay a lot. People go and watch the same cricket match which is actually available on their mobile. They can even watch on mobile, that's another option. Still, everyone want to go to stadium, especially if it's let's say World Cup final, India is playing, or Nepal is playing, Bangladesh is playing, whichever nationality you are from. We all like to actually go there and watch the match. Why? Because we want to experience it firsthand. So same way in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives some instructions. You can just sit and think, oh, maybe I should worship him. Maybe I should think about him. But a better way to actually realize that instruction of Krishna is by actually doing it. As they say, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Yesterday I was watching one small video of Amarendra Prabhu. He was giving this beautiful example of two people trying to relish Rasagulla. One person is looking at Rasagulla and saying, wow, it looks very delicious, it will taste delicious. How nice it will be if I can taste it. One person thinks like that. The other person actually takes it, puts it in the mouth, and now he is relishing and describing the experience. Of the two, which method will we actually prefer? Definitely, especially if it comes to Rasagulla, we would want to put it straight in our mouth and then describe the experience. Same way, the instructions of Bhagavad Gita are meant for us to take it, absorb it as much as we can, but most importantly, put into practice. And if we put into practice, we will see Bhagavad Gita is not yet another book, but it is a living version, a living instruction of Krishna. It's like, these days people talk about artificial intelligence. How the system can actually do the learning based on certain patterns, and then it can think like a human, work for humans like that. Same way, if we take Bhagavad Gita gives those instructions, we take them, put into practice, we will find that this is not yet another book. This is not just paper and ink, but this is actually Krishna as Grantavatar, Krishna in the form of a book. Just like we say Murti. You go to a temple, or you may even have in a home a deity form of Krishna. You look at that, you will treat as if Krishna himself is present because Krishna is present. Krishna is the deity. Same way, Bhagavad Gita, even though it is in a book form, it is Krishna himself. Krishna himself in the form of a book. So this is also an avatar of Krishna. Now, these 4 instructions Krishna says, first thing he says is, think of Krishna. How can we think of Krishna? Especially in our day-to-day lives, we have so many problems, we have so many anxieties, so many sources of anxieties. If you think about what are the different ways how you can give pain to this body, you can think about zillion ways. Even you take a small finger, you can cut it, you can burn it, you can pierce it, you can crush it, so many ways. Put it in hot water. But if I give you, okay, this same finger, find out how many different ways you can give pleasure to it. Not many, you can massage. What else can you do? Nothing much. So in this world, if you see, the world is actually created to cause more anxieties. That's why in Sanskrit, this world is known as Kunta. Kunta means place where there is lot of anxieties. So in this place where there are a lot of anxieties, how can we think of Krishna? So that's a question we need to ask ourselves. How can I think about Krishna? Every single time we go through at least difficulties. There are many stories you will come across in Puranas of people who were leading a very normal life, but when the time came for a difficulty to face a difficult situation, at that time they thought about Krishna. And because of that, from that point onwards, they became great devotees of Krishna. There is a story of an elephant by name Gajendra. Gaja means elephant, Indra means king. Gajendra means king of elephants. So Gajendra was going with his whole family members, friends and everyone. They are all male and female elephants. They are going to sport on the waters. And when Gajendra is so powerful, whenever Gajendra walks, even lions and tigers, they'll get scared away and they'll flee from the place. That's how powerful he was, how gigantic he was. But on this fateful day, when Gajendra entered into the waters, there was one big crocodile which came, grabbed Gajendra's, one of Gajendra's feet, and it starts to chew it. As the crocodile was chewing, Gajendra was feeling excruciating pain. And as soon as all the other elephants saw Gajendra being attacked by this crocodile, immediately they came out of the waters, fearing for their own lives. Now Gajendra is stuck, didn't know what to do. He is pulling himself out of the water. No surprise, because an elephant is actually very powerful on the land only. So it's trying to come out. But crocodile is trying to pull elephant into the water. So the clash between the crocodile and Gajendra continued for many, many years. And as the time progressed, because elephant is in waters, which is not its general habitat, and because it is fighting for its life, slowly it is starting to feel exhausted. But crocodile, on the other hand, even though relatively speaking, it may be weaker than the elephant, but because crocodile is in the waters, that is its own habitat, now crocodile gains upper hand. And at one point when Gajendra realizes, this is not going to take me anywhere, I'm going to die soon. At that time, Gajendra was thinking about one prayer it memorized. It offered to Supreme Lord Vishnu in the previous life. It remembered that and then it offers the prayers to Vishnu. And as Gajendra was offering the prayers to Vishnu, Vishnu is in Vaikuntha. Immediately he responded, coming on the back of Garuda. And when Gajendra sees Vishnu, he immediately plucks a lotus and offers. You might have seen this famous picture of Gajendra offering a lotus to Vishnu, who is riding on the back of Garuda, and one of its feet is actually being chewed by a crocodile. When Vishnu comes to that place, he immediately releases his Sudarshana Chakra, chopping off the head of crocodile, and he immediately liberates both the crocodile as well as Gajendra from the animal body. So they both gain their spiritual form. So this example is given in the Puranas of somebody who worshipped Krishna because they were in anxiety. So that's a good starting point. Thinking about Krishna when we face difficulties. We can also think about Krishna in normal times as well. It's not that we should go worship Krishna only when we are in trouble. Sometimes I see people in temple. I ask them, hey, I haven't seen you for a while. They say, no, last time I came, I had a problem. I came, worshipped Gopinath. Now, no problem. That's why I'm not coming. Then I ask them, you are here back again. Do you have a problem again? Yes. So, we shouldn't have that business dealing with Krishna. Krishna, I will come to you only when I have problem. No. Somebody, even in our day-to-day lives, if one of our friends had helped us in our difficult times, we would naturally appreciate the friendship and deal with them, communicate with them, associate with them even on normal times, sharing even happiness with them. Same way, Krishna is a person. So when we go to Krishna for trouble, Krishna takes away the trouble, but then now we have all the more reason to keep going to him. Interesting part here is, when we go to Krishna, Krishna takes the trouble away. You continue to go to Krishna, Krishna will make us more strong. So much strong that we'll be able to face any trouble in life after that. So isn't it intelligent to actually stay in touch with Krishna, not just during tough times, but on all the times. So Krishna, that's why he says, think of me. Think about Krishna all the time. And in Kali Yuga, to sit in one place and meditate about Krishna is difficult. But just like how you are just doing Harinam, you can keep singing Krishna's glories. Hearing and thinking are the same. Chanting Krishna's name and remembering Krishna are the same. Just like I always give this example, I've given this to you before. If I tell you Narendra Modi, Virat Kohli, Roger Federer, as you hear this sound coming from my mouth and hitting your ears, immediately their image keeps popping up in your mind, correct? So hearing is same as thinking. Sometimes we realize, sometimes we don't. But actually, the sound is capable of bringing up the thought of that sound. Does that make sense? So, simply chanting, hearing, we say Radhe. We may not realize Srimati Radharani's form, but simply by hearing that, our mind is actually remembering of Srimati Radharani. Krishna, it is remembering of Krishna. When I say Hanuman, already you are thinking about Hanuman with the Gata carrying the Sanjeevani mountain, or he may be fighting with somebody. As soon as you hear the name of a spiritual personality or Krishna, you are remembering them immediately. Understand? So think of Krishna means to always chant his name, to always chant the holy name of the Lord. So that's what thinking of Krishna means. So that's the first thing. Second thing Krishna says is, become my devotee. I'll tell you a story. Once there was a war, suddenly that broke between two countries. The neighboring country was attacking a kingdom. So in emergency times, usually especially when a kingdom is underprepared, last minute they'll just recruit anybody who is able to even pick up some weapon, they'll recruit them in the army. So in this situation also, the king, as a desperate emergency measure, he recruited everyone. And they started to fight back. So in the war, what had happened? There were three young men who, even though they were not soldiers, they come from different backgrounds. One was a farmer, one was a carpenter, one was a teacher. Still, they fought very bravely, and they became the reason for this kingdom to actually win over the other ones. So now this kingdom not only protected itself, but it has won over the other king and annexed the neighboring kingdom also. So the king was very appreciative of everyone. He specifically singled out these three young men, called them to his assembly, and he told them that I have noticed you, I have observed how valiantly you fought for our kingdom, defending its glory. So I want to award you. You may ask for any boon and I will give you straight away. So first young man stepped forward and he said, oh my king, I'm struggling so much being a farmer. Would be good if you give me a bag of gold with which I'll become a big landlord and I can get other people to work for me in my agricultural land. King said, Tatastu, so be it. Tata astu. That means whatever you have asked, may that happen. So he gave him that boon. Then the second person came and he said, oh my dear king, I'm a carpenter. If you only can give me a bag of diamonds, I'll be able to become a big trader rather than having to sit and labor very hard with this wood. I will become a big businessman. King said, Tatastu, take it. Now the third person came. Third person, what he did was he spoke. He came forward to the king and then he told the king, "Oh, my dear king, just visit my home once." That's all he asked. Now, first one asked for gold, second one asked for diamond. So when the assemblymen, when they heard the third guy asking the king just to visit my home once, everyone was thinking, what a stupid fellow he is. Even though he is a teacher, he didn't know what to ask from the king. Look at the other two young men, they had asked for greater gifts. If only this guy is a little intelligent, he should have also gotten good amount of wealth. He could have made a big life out of that, good career out of that. How stupid of him. So then the king turned towards the minister, his chief minister, and he asks him, "Okay, this young man wants me to visit his home. Can you find an appointment in my calendar?" Then the minister looks for a time and the minister tells, "Okay, you can visit his home in 6 months' time." Then the king gets shocked. 6 months' time, he is asking me to visit him. Why should I make him wait for 6 months? Anyway, we'll talk about it later. He gives the bone to the young man. "Don't worry, I will visit your home." So this is the 3 boons he gives. So then after the assembly disperses, the king calls the minister aside and then he asks him, "Why does it take 6 months? His home will be just in our kingdom anywhere. We could have easily go anytime." Then the minister tells him, "Oh, my dear king, of the 3 people, third guy is the most intelligent person." Why is he the most intelligent person? Because a king normally won't give audience or visit an ordinary pauper's home. This guy is a teacher and he is not from such a well-to-do family. So the only way how you can visit his home is when you raise his status in the society. And how are you going to raise his status in the society? He has to become equally rich like you. He has to be living in a very affluent situation. He has to be living in a palatial building. Not only him, his whole surrounding has to be like that. There has to be proper laid out roads. There has to be proper plantation along the way. There has to be equal amount of neighboring rich people. So the only way how this can be fulfilled is by making him rich. So the minister tells to the king, this is what this third man had intelligently asked you. A devotee of Krishna is like that. They don't ask for a bag of gold. They don't ask for a bag of gold coins, bag of diamonds. They just ask for Krishna. Now, even though in this case, if you see, the young man had asked him, so the king had to fulfill his words. So because of that, he had to make him rich. So he didn't just get a bag of gold coin. He got his whole kingly life for rest of his life. So when we go to Krishna, we don't ask for, Krishna, please give me this, please give me that. When Arjuna went to meet Krishna, along with Duryodhan, Duryodhan also had come at the same time. Arjuna has also gone at the same time to gain support from Krishna. When Arjuna arrived, he sees Krishna lying on the bed. So Arjuna comes and he remains seated at his feet, ready to greet the Lord when he wakes up. Duryodhan, when he comes, he thinks, why sit close to his feet? After all, I am the prince here. Let me sit close to his head, because head is more stronger or more important than the feet. This is what Duryodhan thought. So he sits right next to Krishna on the chair. When Krishna wakes up, if you're lying down, when you open your eyes, who will you see first? The one sitting on your head or the one sitting at your lower feet? Of course, the one sitting at your feet, because that is the person who is right in front of you. So Krishna, when he wakes up, when he opens his eyes, he sees Arjuna first. So then he says to Arjuna, oh Arjuna, you are here. Then Duryodhan says, oh Krishna, I came first. I came first and I was seated here. You didn't see me first. But then Krishna tells to Duryodhan, oh Duryodhan, even though you had come first, I had actually seen Arjuna. So we have to give preference to Arjuna to ask me first. But then Krishna says, I know for the purpose why you both have come, but let me lay the cards bare for both of you to see on the table. And Krishna says, I will, on one side, I have a Narayani Sena, which is my own personal army, most powerful on the planet. And I have one Akshauhini soldiers, which is millions of soldiers. 4 types of army battalion they have. People you have who are cavalrymen, people who ride on horseback, Radha, Gaja, Turaka, Patadi, all 4. People who ride on the back of an elephant as well as charioteers. All great Atiratas, Maharatas. So they all are there, millions of soldiers on one side, and on the other it is me. So you have 2 choices, and by the way, I won't touch the weapon. So this is what Krishna says. So when Krishna says this and offers both the choices to Arjuna, Arjuna says, my lord, what will I do with your army? I need you. Now Duryodhana becomes very happy at heart. He thinks, how stupid of Arjuna. He could have gotten millions of soldiers. We are anyway outnumbering them already. And this is not normal soldiers. They are Narayani Sena. Not even a normal bunch of army men. They are Krishna's own personal army. He is not smart enough to take this. So Duryodhana plays tricks and he tells to Krishna, oh Krishna, Arjuna had already taken you. What to do? I will settle with just one Akshauhini soldiers. But deep in the core of his heart, he is feeling very happy. But Arjuna, despite having both the choices, he chose Krishna. And we know what happened at the end. Arjuna won. In fact, after Duryodhana goes, Krishna tells to Arjuna, Arjuna, you're stupid. You should have taken my army. Krishna also teases him. But Arjuna says, my lord, what will I do with your army? You are important, and wherever you are, there will be victory. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partha Dhanurdhara. Tatra Shri Vijayabhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. This is the very final verse of Bhagavad Gita. So wherever there is Krishna, within Krishna, one of Krishna's name is Sri Nivas. Sri means Sri Devi. Nivas means the home, abode. Okay, Balaji's name is Srinivas. So because Lakshmi ji, she always resides in the heart of Krishna. Krishna known as Srinivas. So whoever has Krishna, they'll have everything. They'll have wealth, they'll have power, they'll have very strong moral character, they'll have peace at heart, they'll have everything. So devotees of Krishna, they are very intelligent. Even though they don't ask for wealth, simply by asking for Krishna, they get everything. Just like the 3rd young man. He simply asked the king to come to his home. That's all he did. He didn't ask for anything. But he knew very well, if the king has to come to my home, then I have to be raised to the same position as the king. So a devotee of the Lord, they are not going for just pebbles on the ground. They ask for the Lord, but not with any ulterior motive. Unlike this young man in the story who asked the king to come, not because of his love for the king, because he is the most intelligent guy materially, so he wants more wealth. But by asking the king to visit, he got everything. This is just an example. But when we worship Krishna, we don't need to bother so much about, oh, will I get well? Will I get this? Will I get that? No. Krishna will take care completely. If we ask something to Krishna and if Krishna gives, that is Krishna's mercy, Krishna's affection. You ask something to Krishna, Krishna, please give me a car. Krishna gives. Sometimes you ask Krishna something, Krishna doesn't give. That is Krishna's protection. Just like a little child may be there, goes to the mother and asking the mother, oh mother, please give me a knife for me to play with. And by the way, I don't even know how to read and write, which means what? 6 months year old. Do you think the mother will give? No. The mother withholding the knife is mother's protection for the child. Even though externally it looks like the mother is not fulfilling the desire of the child, and she isn't, it is for all good reasons only. Same way, when we ask Krishna, we don't know actually many times whether what we are asking is correct or not. So Krishna, as the all-loving mother, he would think, if I give this to this devotee now, it will do more damage than good. Just like the mother is thinking. So the mother is saying, no, I won't give. Likewise, Krishna sometimes he holds, because Krishna, as a loving mother, he also knows, if I give this to this devotee will fall down. This devotee will struggle in life more. So Krishna withholds. So Krishna, fulfilling our desires is also his affection. Krishna not fulfilling our desires is also his affection. In fact, that is his protection. This is how we become Krishna's devotee. Simply accepting Krishna as one's Lord and Master. And when we go to Krishna, then if we are not sure what to ask for, what should we pray? You can always go to Krishna and express yourself. You can tell him that, oh my Lord, this is what I think I need in my life at this situation. It may be a home, maybe a car, maybe some wealth, anything. But then we also tell to the Lord, my Lord, this is what I think I need. If you so desire, you know it better than me. Whatever you think is best for me, please offer. That's how devotees pray. It's not like if you have any desires, you don't have to speak at all. You can speak to Krishna, but allow Krishna to make the decision for us. That's how you balance. That way, we'll be clear. I already told Krishna, despite me telling he's giving me this, that means this is the best thing for me. And we accept. We try to see the hand of Krishna and we pray to Krishna, oh my Lord, please give me the intelligence with which I can understand your plan. Okay, so this is how we become Krishna's devotee. On a more practical sense, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita also, 9th chapter, you will come across, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, Yome Bhakta Pranashati, Taddaham Bhakti Upahritam Ashnami Prayatatmana. Krishna says, 4 things you can offer to me. Patram, you can offer a leaf, which is tulsi leaf. You can offer to Krishna. Patram Pushpam, you can offer a flower. Phalam, you can offer a fruit. You can offer vegetables, you can cook sabji, all of that comes under that category. Patram, Pushpam, Phalam. Somebody may say, oh Krishna, you know what, I'm very poor. I don't have even any leaf. I live in a desert. I don't even have any fruit. I have nothing. Krishna says, Toyam. If you are living means you need some water. Toyam means water. So Krishna says, at least offer me some water. It's not that Krishna needs all of this. Krishna is not in need of anything. In fact, everything comes from Krishna. But these are the means with which we offer our respects to Krishna. Just like on Father's Day, Mother's Day, maybe Teacher's Day. Your parents, you have kids, you would actually sometimes give some money to the kid, go shopping with the kid and let them do the purchase. And they'll go buy something, nicely wrap it, one small pen maybe. They'll nicely wrap it and bring it to you as Mother's Day gift, Father's Day gift. And you will open it and you will uncover it and you will see, wow, this is such a wonderful pen. This is exactly what I was actually looking for. Oh, how sweet of you. You know my heart. You say all of that to the child to make the child happy. But the $1 million question is, who gave the money to the child in the first place to buy that pen or to buy whatever, hair clip, whatever? It's the parents. But why are the parents, doesn't the parent know to go and purchase it directly? No. They want to give the money to the child, so the child will go purchase and give. So there is a transaction of love that is happening. It's not just something material. This is just the means with which the love is expressed. Same way, Krishna has got everything. And Krishna is the one who is supplying us everything. You know, you don't pay electricity bill, they'll switch off the electricity. One overdue notice you will get, second time some expiation or some warning notice you will get, and third time, they'll just switch it off. You come outside, you see sun, how much free electricity it's giving. Solar power it's giving. You take water department, you forget paying the bill, they'll cut the supply. Look at how much rain Krishna is giving, how much river. Likewise, oxygen. So much we are taking from Krishna. Krishna supplies everything, but Krishna is saying, by the way, you can express your love to me by these ways. Krishna is not asking us. Imagine Krishna says, you worship me with the $2 million. We'll think, forget it, I'm not going to become Krishna's devotee. Krishna knows our capacity. And Krishna knows these 4 things anyway we'll be using. Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam. You offer me a leaf, you offer me a flower, you can offer some fruits or vegetables, or you can offer me water, or you can offer all of them. So last time I came, you had cooked nice bhoga for Krishna, offered it to him, and you take as prasad. Now here is the best part. Krishna, even though he is saying you offer me, after you offer all of this, Krishna is giving us everything back also. Understand? So in effect, we are actually not losing anything at all. But we are gaining the best thing one can possibly achieve in one's entire existence, which is Supreme Lord Himself. Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, Toyam, Yome Bhakta Prayachati. If you offer all of this with little bhakti, with love and devotion, Taddaham Bhakti Upaharidam Ashnami. Krishna says, if you offer this to me with love and affection, Ashnami means I'll accept it. If Krishna accepts something, Krishna is the most grateful person. You come across the famous story of Sudama Brahmana. Sudama was a very poor Brahmana. He was a pauper. He was so poor that he didn't have even proper clothing. When his wife actually requested him to go and see Krishna, because his wife is also very devoted to him, she was feeling very bad to see him in such emaciated condition. So just to make him actually better, she requests him on the plea, please go and see Krishna. Effulgent personality. So you will come across many leelas like this where Krishna had expressed his gratitude. Krishna is very, very grateful. Even a little service one does, Krishna becomes very grateful. So when Krishna says, become my devotee, it looks like Krishna is demanding, surrender, become my devotee like that. No, it is for the devotee's well-being. Okay, so that's the second thing. First is we think about Krishna. How do we think about Krishna? By chanting his name, hearing his lila, or hearing his name also, doing Harinama. Become Krishna's devotee is you cook, you offer some bhoga to Krishna. You offer some water to Krishna. You have a small photo of Krishna in your home, offer some water, offer some fruits, some dry fruits. If you cook vegetarian. Whenever you cook, even if you're a non-vegetarian, at least on days when you cook vegetarian, don't use onion and garlic and offer that bhoga. Or you can offer fruits. In this way, you have that loving interaction with Krishna. If we do that, then we are considered as good devotees of Krishna. Okay, so this is become Krishna's devotee. Third, worship Krishna. Worshipping is also very easy. You can worship Krishna by offering pranam. You can express your heart. You don't need to know big songs or Sanskrit verses. If you know, you can. Otherwise, even you sing whatever that you feel like expressing to him. Just like how you will talk to your friend. You can talk to Krishna like that. Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Just go in front of Krishna. Could be in Murti form. Could be in photo form. You offer respects and you just say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. So you have offered your prayer to Srimad Radharani and Krishna. This is the best prayer you can offer. You can offer it like that. Sometimes you may feel like pouring out, some anxiety you have, some emotional stress you have. You can speak to him just like how you will speak to any other friend. Many times it is said, if you go, let's say your friend comes to you, oh, I have so much trouble, and you just sit and patiently listen to them. Even though you might not have given them a solution to the problem, even though you might not have given a word or told them, spoken even a word, still the person will feel relieved. I have spoken. Even passively listening to other people's problem relieves the other person of stress. So, same way, you go to Krishna, you speak to him. In this case, Krishna won't just passively listen. He will listen to us and he will do something. Prabhupada, when he installed Krishna Balaram in Vrindavan temple, Prabhupada says, so these are two supreme lords, Krishna and Balaram. They both are brothers. Because they don't have any problem, they can solve everyone's problem. So you can come, if you have any problem, you can come to him and they say, and you can offer this prayer, oh my dear sirs, I have this problem, please help me, and they will help you. Whereas in material world, you take anybody, you go to another person and you say, oh, I have this problem. The other person himself who you think can help, they themselves have another problem in their own life. So Prabhupada says in material world, nobody can help anybody because everyone has problem. But Krishna and Balaram or Srimati Radharani and Krishna, Radha Gopinath, Radha Krishna, they can solve the whole world's problem. Why? Because they don't have any problem themselves. The very reason why they have come down in the form of a murti, in the form of Bhagavad Gita, in the form of a photo of a murti is simply to solve everyone's problem and give permanent solution so that everyone can go back to the spiritual world. So that's how we worship Krishna. And finally, offer obeisances to Krishna. This is part of our culture for most of us, from the backgrounds we come from. Whenever we see Krishna, we do pranam. We bow down. So this is specifically given as bowing down. Manmana bhava madbhakto. Manmana bhava. Mana means mind. Think of me. Madbhakto becomes my devotee. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji. Yaji means to worship. Mam namaskuru. Namaskar. Pranam. Or bowing down. Or paying dandavats pranam. Danda means stick. Dandavats pranam means if a stick falls, how will it fall? Tap. Like that. Don't fall like that freely. But the idea dandavats means you fall like a stick. Even though you may not fall like a stick, at least when you go to the ground, you be like a stick. Like that. Okay, so in this way, Krishna says you become his devotee simply by doing these 4 things. And as I said, this verse is so important. Krishna himself says it 2 times. The only verse which Krishna himself repeats. Sometimes when you go for a travel, your parents may actually say, hey, be careful. And then again, when you are leaving the home, just outside, that will be the final word. Okay, just take care, please be careful. They have already said, still they'll say again. Same way, Krishna is giving this particular instruction just in case you slept during the Bhagavad Gita class during 9th chapter. At least listen again. Krishna says as one of the final instructions in 18th chapter. So in this way, we become devotee of Krishna, we become friend of Krishna, and we understand that there is a big difference between worshipping Krishna and worshipping any other god. With any other god, demigods, devatas, we can pray for something and they may give you, but there is no after sale service. They'll give and they'll go away. Many times you'll come across in Puranic stories of demons, they attain some boons, but rather than being happy, the same boon causes their downfall. So demigods, you can't have a loving relationship with Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu. We cannot. We can have a transactional relationship. Like I'll go do this puja, you give me this. I'll go do this yajna, you give me this. I'll go do this vrata, you give me this. This is how the dealings will be. And demigods themselves, their position is temporary. Krishna says, Alpa Medasaha. Only people of less intelligence will worship demigods. I'll finish with one point. When Ravana does the tapasya, he does tapasya to please Lord Brahma. So Brahma comes. Then Brahma says, oh Ravana, I'm very pleased with your tapasya. Ask for a boon. Then Ravana says, oh Brahmaji, I'm not asking for anything big. Just make me immortal. Is this not a big boon? But this is how he puts it. Just make me immortal. Then Brahma tells him, I'm remembering of one comedy. I'll come to that shortly. So Brahma tells him that, oh Ravana, even I myself am not immortal. How can I give you the boon that you are immortal? So the point is, even demigods, they are not immortal. We live for 100 years. Demigods also live for 100 years or 10,000 years in their lifespan, basically. That's all. After that time, they die. Someone else comes to their position. Brahma changes. Position of Brahma changes. Shiva's position doesn't change. Same Shiva, past, present, future. Vishnu, eternal. So Vishnu and Shiva's position, nobody can take. Brahma's position, anybody can take. What to speak of other 33 crore demigods? They are all, it's like a musical chair. Any jiva, they can actually climb up. When they acquire enough piety, they can go assume one of the position. I told you of one comedy. I promise I'll finish with this. There were 2 thieves. They go and worship. I remember watching this in one movie like 25 years ago. So 2 thieves, they go and worship Ganesh. And they worship Ganesh that today we are going to rob one home. Please help us. We will give you your share. And then Ganesh just keeps smiling. So they both go. Finally, they become successful in robbing. They come with their bounty. And they separate. They make into 2 halves. One for each of the thief. So one thief has got one big bag of coins. Another thief has also got one big bag of coins. First thief comes. He draws a small circle on the ground. Like this size. But he has a big sack full of gold coins. What he does is, he tells to Ganesh, oh Ganesh, I will be true to my word. You have given me this wealth. But I told you, I promised you that I'll give you your share. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take all this whole bag of gold coins, I'm going to throw up in the ground, up in the air. whatever that falls within that huge circle, actually circle he draws very small, whatever that falls within that circle, they're all yours. And whatever that gets spilled out, I will be satisfied with that. Saying this way, he throws everything up, one big sack full of coins, only one coin falls in that circle. He takes that coin, puts it in the hundi, and he tells to Ganesh, I fulfilled my promise. He goes. Second thief comes, he looks at the other first thief very curiously, and then he tells to Lord Ganesh, Ganesh, that thief is actually cheating you. Look at him. He drew such a small circle, a circle which is capable of holding only one coin. And he cheated you by throwing everything up. One coin only he fell. He should have drawn the circle big. Anyway, I don't want to be very dishonest with you like him. I don't want to limit you with the circle. What I'll do is I have this whole bag of gold coins. I'll throw up in the air. Whatever you like, you catch it. And whatever falls down, I'll be satisfied with that. In this way, he cheated him. Again, threw it. What will catch it? Nobody is there to catch. Everything falls down. He grabs everything. He didn't even give one gold coin. This is the mentality of demigod worshippers. Okay, so that's why even in scriptures it is condemned. That doesn't mean we have to be disrespectful for the demigods. We have to show the respect, but we also need to understand ultimately even the demigods, they are answerable to Krishna only. So Krishna says, why go to each one of them? Just to come to me. Remember the third young man's story. One guy said, I'll get one bag of gold coin, one bag of diamonds. Third guy said, instead of directly telling the king, King, make me as a second king. That's exactly what he got at the end of the day. He simply said, oh my dear king, please visit my home. So us, we don't need to go running here and there. Simply worship Krishna and Krishna will give us whatever that we need, and whatever Krishna doesn't give us, that is our protection. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, you can send it to Kangana Mataji. I will try to answer that in our next session. I think I have 2 more sessions, I think, before Madhav Gopal Prabhu takes over again. Thank you. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Alice Springs devotees ki jai. Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari Bo.